But why don't we take you through now the conditions that they've got to face here today. And that's brought to you by AccuWeather and their minute-by-minute cast. Make sure you check out AccuWeather.com for all your weather forecasting needs. They sure do provide an excellent service for everyone, as well as their partners here at the Soxat Racing V8 SuperTrucks World Championship. And let's bring up those conditions now. There's your track. So it is mostly cloudy in the sky, 73% humidity, air temperature 75 degrees Fahrenheit with the track temperature. Look at that, 113 Fahrenheit track temperature here out here in Japan. So tyre degradation and tyre heat buildup will be a factor here today in this event. So drivers are going to be slipping and sliding in this series. And here we go with a look at your starting grid. Sven Kamat's on pole position then for Radicals Online Turn Racing, just 2.5 tenths ahead of Bobby Zelensky in second place. Dels Pataska, third place for Radicals Online JRT, with Sven Kamat's teammate Thomas O'Leary, fourth place. Fifth for Andrew Carron, good result for him, ahead of James King, the privateer. And it's another privateer, Paul Slavinik, in seventh place, and Mike Kapal rounded out your fourth row. Fifth row is Connor Horn, with Roger Gregory in 10th. Stephen Dagger Jr., the last man to set a qualifying lap, although to be honest I think he'll be disappointed with that qualifying lap. And as you see there, David Williams, the last man on the grid, did not set a qualifying time. But it is Sven Kamat that is on pole position, and he's going to be in charge of the drivers and the speed that they carry down onto the start and finish straight. It's a short pace lap here, so we'll have to see how we get on here. But there's some of our onboard cameras, brought to you by Istvan Bala. And look at that, 3 Radicals cars in camera shot right there. Sven, so if he looks out to the left of his car, he'll see it's Bobby Zelensky there, the VRS Quantum Sim Sport driver, breaking up that Radicals front row. After the start of the race, don't forget to check out RaceSpotTV/timing to keep up to date with everything. We have got a mandatory pit stop, of course, in this series. Mandatory tyre stop for the drivers. There's 12 truck grid now. Rolling on towards the end of the lap, and you can see underneath the bridge there, you can see that bit of tarmac that Sven is running over right now. As long as he keeps 2 wheels on track, then it is okay. Put all 4 wheels over the track and you end up with an instant point. But here we go then. It's Sven Kamat out the final corner, waiting for the green flag. Waiting patiently. Everybody's checking up. This should be a good start here. Waiting. Green flag in the air. Away we go from round 7 of the V8 SuperTrucks World Championship here at Twin Ring Motegi. And into turn number 1 they go. Zelensky, Kamat alongside each other. At that first corner, Zelensky's in the perfect spot for the inside of turn number 3 onto the brakes. Everybody making it round so far. Good driving so far from everybody out of that corner, and it's Zelensky who has taken the lead in the early running of this race. Onto the brakes, turn number 5, tricky one, and into the back of Zelensky goes Kamat. Zelensky runs wide because of that. Here comes Thomas O'Leary. O'Leary's on a charge here from 4th place on the grid, and he's up to 2nd now, ahead of Zelensky. through the S's. Got more positions changing behind as well, but crucially at the front here, Zelensky dropping behind, down to third place. That is not where he wanted to be at this point of the race. Into the hairpin that runs onto the back straight and out of it. Look at all those trucks together in a line. David Williams up 2 positions already. Down into this tight right-hander. It's a really tricky place to get right. Tricky corner. Through the final chicane, you've got to carry the speed out of this corner, and that's what Bob Zelensky is trying to do now, and he's trying to make the move on Thomas O'Leary. O'Leary's going defensive straight away. He doesn't want Zelensky by. Around the outside, Bobby, it's not really got on there. You've not really got the room there to make the move, and he's had to stay behind for the time being. Oh, we've got a truck off in the background. That's Stephen Dagan Jr. Something's happened between him, and I believe this is going to be Connor Horn that's involved in this as well. Oh no, it's just on his own. I saw Connor Horn dropping down my timing train, but look at that, just coming in a little too hot into the corner. And off he goes into the gravel. But he's back up and running. O'Leary, side by side, Zelensky. Zelensky wants to get that second place and get charging after Sven Kovacs, but Thomas O'Leary doing a fantastic job for his teammate in holding off Zelensky, but it's just too late. Zelensky's through, up in second place. Now can he charge down Sven Kovacs in front? Because Sven already 1.5 seconds ahead of the VRS Quantum Sim Sport driver. But battling further down as well, this is James King and Andrew Carron. And they've also got Matt Kapal there as well. 3 trucks going down. Downhill braking. You want to brake at about the 150 metre marker. And still, they're side by side. And the 23 truck of King makes it by. Carron's not giving this one up, but he's going to have to just sling his truck in behind. Oh, King getting loose on the exit of the final corner. Across the line they go. And, well, there we go. That's them sorted out for the time being. But I wouldn't write that one off yet. That's still going to be a battle that is going to be ensuing for a lot longer in this race. On the brakes again, Carron trying his best. He's got to be careful though, because behind him is Matt Kapal. Kapal was putting the pressure on there. King though ahead, as you can see on the back boot lid there, right along with James King on Twitch. He's one of you drivers carrying onboard cameras. To come out of that right-hander at 6 into 7 and 8. And still these 3 together in a line. David Williams, 9th place now. He's working his way forward in this field. Oh, King's run wide onto the grass there slightly. That's going to allow Carron up alongside, but here comes Kapal now. This is the perfect opportunity for Martin Kapal to make the most of it. King gets loose mid-corner. Carron actually stays ahead of Kapal there. They're going downhill now. The 3 of them together. Our aerial coverage brought to you by Amware Designs. Into the tight right-hander and not able to make the move and make it stick for the time being. You've got to make the most of those opportunities, and unfortunately for Kapal, he wasn't able to do so. David Williams behind these as well is putting the pressure on, but we'll keep an eye on these 3 because it was a great exit out the final corner from Carron. Andrew Carron, too deep into turn number 1. Does well to hold it in a line out of the exit of turn 2. But that is a disaster for him. It loses in position. Meanwhile, behind him, Paul Slavinik and David Williams now into 3. Paul Slavinik just cutting off the nose of David Williams. It's entirely fair as well. He had the place, he had the ground, and he could decide where to put that truck. And it is Toyota versus Chevy here in this battle. David Williams has already been gaining positions in this race. You can see the gap between the two of them. I tell you what, King and Kapal, they're battling away, and that's allowing this group of cars to catch up as well. So before you know it, we're going to have a queue of 5, maybe 6 trucks here, all from 5th place. Look at it, it's a train of trucks now. Out the hairpin, Kapal at the front there behind King, looking for the move. We'll keep an eye on David Williams here, because he looks to have got a good run. Out the hairpin, what's his braking like? Oh, he's getting out of it early. Decided against making a move on Paul ahead. Williams there, through the left-hander. And then through the final corner at the final one there. Stephen Dager Jr. is out of this one. He's taking a tour back to the pits. Here comes Williams down the inside of 1. Paul Slavinik's trying his best to hold on now. He can get onto the power that little bit earlier than David Williams, and that gives him the slingshot out the corner. Into the braking zone once again. And these two still side by side. As I mentioned, Toyota versus Chevy, and it is the Toyota that just gets ahead now. And Slavinik's going to have to be careful here, because here comes Connor Horn, number 42, trying to make the move on Paul. These two have had battles throughout the year. Slavinik able to slot in between Horn and Williams. But look at this battle here. James King, he just seems to be a little bit of a cork in the bottle here. Kapal, better run out the corner, is it? No, King gets the better run. Into the hairpin, onto the brake. So easy to lock up a brake here. You can snatch your rear brakes as well on the downshifts. And they're going to go running together. Still the battle is going on between Slavinik and Horn. Horn's actually swapped back in. Was looking to make a move on Paul Slavinik, but able to just have to hang on. Slot in behind. Lap 5 already. About to start lap 6. And what's been a thrilling battle. Your leader is still Sven Kemmer. It's 1.7 seconds ahead of Bobby Zelensky, with Thomas O'Leary in 3rd, now 1.6 seconds behind Zelensky. Ptaska is in 4th place. He's running about 9/10 of a second behind Thomas O'Leary in this race. This is why we've been focusing so much on these battles here in your mid-pack, 5th through to 9th and 10th place. Out of turn 4 they go once again. Drivers pushing these trucks to their limit of adhesion. Those Goodyears will be screaming by the time they come into the pits. Onto the grass goes King. Kapal's there. Once by. Oh, locked up the rear slightly. Going into the S's here. You can see Matty Kapal quicker, 2 of the last 3 laps. Chevy versus Chevy as they come out of this hairpin, heading down towards the next hairpin. We're have had a change of position. Just look at the timing screen. Paul Slavinik has lost the position to Connor Horn. So that will have been done down into turn number 5. So go downhill once again. It's a really steep braking zone as it's so easy to just overshoot this right-hander. Turn 11. Out the corner. None of the drivers putting a wheel over that white line 11, let alone 2. To go out across the line once again. This is where all the action is in this race between these 3 drivers, and they're giving us a great show, it must be said. On board with Andrew Carron, the RSR Esports red car, heading down towards turn number 3. See those brake markers on the right, the cones. Used every inch of this road as they come out of turn number 4 now. Getting a bit squirrely is Andrew Carron on the power. He's just dropped him back just that little bit behind Matt Kapal and James King. King not the best run through 5. He's going to hang on through 6 here. And that's what's so tricky about this course. Being able to make those moves and make it count. Turn 7 and 8 here. Pretty much one line. You can't go too wide through there, but you have to compromise each other through there. Into 10. Out of the corner again. And now Karen is being brought back into this battle. And look who's lurking behind there. It is David Williams. He is getting closer and closer and closer. Look at that. Okay, lap 5 was a bit of an anomaly, if I'm honest. But laps 4 and lap 6 quicker than the car in front. And it's charging down on this group here. So 3 becomes 4. Oh, and he goes wide, does Williams. Mistake in the final corners. Gets back on the power, but not able to make any moves. Kapal on the brakes into turn number 1. He's outbraked himself. He's caused issues for King as well. Loses the position to Andrew Carron. Carron says, thank you very much. I'll take that. We'll look at that from on board. Kapal thought he had it on the brakes. So easy to lock up your tyres there. Through goes King. And there goes Andrew Carron through into 6th place. So Kapal down to 7th, struggling with the rear end, under braking into turn 5. And here comes David Williams down, looking to make the move. He wants this position. Brakes. Oh, Kapal! The back end snapping on him. Under braking, he's really struggling. It must be all the heat that he's put through his tyres just in that turn 1 incident. You can see how much is drifting it. So Williams now up to 7th place in this race is surely going to be the prime candidate for hard charge. We'll look at the positions gained and positions lost here. And you can see there Thomas O'Leary at 1 place, King at 1 place, Kapal at 2 places, and then, although that actually will change by the end of this lap, David Williams is up 5 spots now. That graphic is going to update for the next lap, but yeah, great drive from David Williams. He's the key candidate for that hard charger award. That's all just calmed down a little bit here now. James King, half a second ahead of Andrew Carron. Carron just running wide through turn 1. You can rescue it on the exit there though of turn 2. As he comes down the straight now in towards 3. So for the time being, this is all staying as they are. Exit 4. early onto the grass. Not ideal. We're going to stay there. We're looking towards the front though. Sven Kemet 2 seconds ahead of Bobby Zalenski, but that last lap 3/10, but Zalenski was quicker. Can he start reeling in the race leader here? Zalenski's going to be worried behind as well though, because Thomas O'Leary and Dallas Pataska, they're not that far behind. So Radicals online with their 3 drivers, 2 teams of course. They're all together there, and you can see it is Kemet who's not only got the lead, he's also got the fastest lap of the race so far. Battle for 5th is heating up once again. King's decided to go defensive as they're going down the hill into the right-hander. King's compromised through the right-hander. That's going to allow Karen to get in there, but for the time being Karen's having to stay behind. Here comes Williams now, involving himself as they come out the corner there. Karen behind King, using the draft of that truck in front. Williams in his Toyota through turns 1 and 2. Out again. In towards 3. That's not really the best overtaking opportunity. The best opportunity is on the exit of 4 down into 5. Get the run out of this corner here. And if you get the better run, you can then make the move down at turn number 5 here. That's exactly what Williams is just looking. Trying to get in the mirror of Karen. Karen gets into James King. King's around. Oh, Karen's waiting. This is a caution. This is a caution now. This is basically going to be a reset of the field. So we'll have a look at this one again. King ran it wide. Karen went a little bit hot into the corner. Fair play to Andrew Karen, waiting for James King. We'll try and get another look at this one now. So yeah, hats off. Clean driving. Well, I mean, this was just a mistake. It's just caught him out as that. In the go, into the key later. And hats off to Andrew Karen. Waiting there for his compatriot. The man who he caused to spin. Gets back up and running. But we have got a caution. Your race leader is out there at the front. You would imagine that there's going to be pit stops pretty much for everybody. In fact, I would say if you're not taking a pit stop in this, then really it's a free pit stop. And I know they always say that cautions breed cautions, but to me, you take the pit stop right now. But it's a bit of a reset here, and that gap, that 2-second gap, has suddenly come down to nothing for Sven Kemet. Bobby Zalenski, he's got to be worried about those trucks behind though, those 2 Radicals trucks behind. They're going to be putting the pressure on him coming into this. David Williams, 5th place from the back of the grid. So now Bobby Zalenski has got a little bit of help here from his teammate. This is going to be a really, really interesting portion of the race now. We're past the halfway stage. 11 to go. Let's just quickly run you through your top 8 standings. And it is Sven Kemet then in the lead of this one. Bobby Zalenski second, as you can see in this queue, with Thomas O'Leary and Dels Pataska 3rd and 4th. David Williams, great drive from him, starting in 12th place, up into 5th now with Matt Capel behind in 6th. James King, caught up in that incident that caused the yellow flag, he's in 7th place with Connor Horn rounding out the top 8. The rest of your field is Andrew Caron in 9th place. 10th place Paul Slavinik and Roger Gregory rounding out your 11 running trucks, with Stephen Dacre Jr. the only retirement from this race. But the question is now, pit stops. Everybody's going to be coming in, right? If you don't, then I think you're throwing away a free pit stop, especially with the grid and with the amount of drivers left on the road. I think it would be silly not to pit for everybody. It is a mandatory tyre stop, don't forget, in this series. That Porsche 911 pace car out the front then. Fuel saving won't be an issue here. These drivers will be fine for fuel in this race. So this is going to be an interesting end to this one. It'll be fresh boots for everyone, and the opportunity of a bit of fighting. And Bob Zelensky fell off because of getting caught up with Thomas O'Leary in the early stages of this race. Now that he's back in second place where he started, he can really put the pressure on Sven Kevats. But we're looking forward underneath the bridge. What does everybody do here? I would imagine them to go straight on into pit road. And that is exactly what is happening here. It's a little chicane there. You've got to stay on the track. That is one thing that was brought up in the driver's briefing. You've got to stay on track in that chicane. Down pit road they all come now. Pace car staying out on track. So Sven Kevats, he qualified pole. He's on the front pit stop. Tyres getting changed on the left. Then on the right. As soon as it drops, you go. And that's what Sven Kevats does right there. So they're going to come out in order as the flag marshal holding out the caution flag there. Further down your order, Kapal is in 5th place. David Williams has actually dropped down to 7th place in all of that. So I don't know what's happened in his pit stop, but that's dropped him from 5th to 7th. That's not what his teammate Bob Zelensky needs to hear right now. So then, one more pace lap to come here. What we're going to do is just quickly step aside just for a moment. You'll be right back here with the SuperTrucks racing coverage of the V8 SuperTrucks World Championship Round 7 from Twin Ring Motegi. Round 7 of the SuperTrucks Racing V8 SuperTrucks World Championship. Coming to you from Twin Ring Motegi here on the SuperTrucks Racing Twitch and Facebook channels. Coverage brought to you by RaceSpotTV. Now we'll see the Porsche 911 safety car pull off to the right hand side. There it goes. And now we're under the control of Sven Kevats around the final corner. He's holding it to the middle of the track, waiting for the green flag. Green flag in the air, away we go. Great restart from Thomas O'Leary. He's going on the attack straight away. Bobby Zelensky having to go defensive here. That's exactly what Sven Kevats wanted at the restart then. And Zelensky now, great exit through turn 2. Has to slot in behind Sven, but looking to the inside for turn number 3. On the brakes hard now into turn number 3. Sven Kevats holding the outside line. He could get on the power a little bit earlier, but Bobby Zelensky to alongside, then bang door panels down towards turn number 5, and here comes Thomas O'Leary. He's not giving up on this one. He wants that inside line because he'll have the inside line for the next corner. Bobby Zelensky though able to hold on to that second place. Matt Kapal still in 5th place ahead of David Williams, who's gained a position on this restart here. Great action from all of these drivers, and you can see the queue of trucks. Wow, Thomas O'Leary getting loose, going for a little bit of drifting action out of the S's there. Zelensky behind Kamertz, and that's how it's been pretty much all of the race. Only really at the start did Bobby Zelensky get ahead. You can see a little bit of damage on that front right hand side of Bobby Zelensky's truck. Great exit out of the hairpin, downhill, hard braking. Here comes David Williams behind, looking, trying to make the move, and Mike Capal, the Impulse Racing driver, hanging on to 5th place for the time being. But up front, oh, Sven Kamertz drifting the truck out in the final corner. That's not ideal for tyre wear. Zelensky though, that straight isn't straight long enough. Here comes David Williams now, up into 5th place ahead of Matt Capal. And James King is trying to make a move on Capal as well. So all of a sudden Capal was 5th, down to 6th, slots in ahead of James King. Don't forget, live timing and scoring available, RaceSpot.tv/timing. Keep up to date with everything going on in this race, and what is going on in this race right now is plenty of action, as always, in this championship. Kamertz out of the corner, underneath the oval. And Zelensky looking busy, looking dangerous. But you can see on the front right hand corner of his truck how he has got damage, and that will slightly affect him here in this race. You can see it right in that corner there. But away we go, out of the corner now. Oh, Capal in the background getting loose on the exit of the hairpin. Down the straight once again. Still the front four locked together. David Williams is about a second behind them, so he isn't close enough for the time being to start putting pressure on. This is absolutely fantastic racing. Behind as well, Matt Capal is coming under pressure from James King. Connor Horn getting loose out of the right-hander, the 90-degree right-hander, but they're all carrying on here out the final corner. And no, that's not the camera we wanted, but there we go. Connor Horn coming under pressure. Andrew Carron trying to make the move, trying to put the pressure on through turns 1 and 2 then. Double apex right-handers into double apex left-handers at 3 and 4. Zelensky at the front of the field, looking tricky, looking like he wants that position. But on the exit, Kamertz gets the better exit. So Sven doing the right things here, staying out at the front. Zelensky is putting all that pressure on. The winner of the last round is Bobby Zelensky. He knows what it takes to get victories. Former champion is Bobby Zelensky of the V8 SuperTrucks World Championship. We go into the hairpin now. The pressure well and truly on. 6 laps remaining of this race, and they're halfway through this particular lap now. Great stuff at the moment, just settled down that little bit. Zelensky, you feel, just needs to start making some moves forward. We've got a car around, and that's Paul Slavinik. This is going to be all on his own, is it? Gets on the grass, wheel on the grass, and that's going to be Hello Armco. Able to keep it going though. Gets back up and running, but damage to the front of that truck. That will not be helping him in this final part of the race. Down to 11th for Paul here. Leaders go through, they're still carrying on. Further back, James King has been able to Oh, he's not really been gaining, he's lost a little bit of time, but behind him, Andrew Carron is certainly putting the pressure on Connor Horn as well. So these guys all battling it out, 8th and 9th, as they go into the double apex left-hander at 3 and 4. Andrew Carron though, really loose through those two corners. Having to carry on now into turn number 5, so they'll stick as they are. Now, Thomas O'Leary, he's been gaining last lap by 1/10 of a second. He means business here, and he wants to get another position here in this race. They carry on further down. Andrew Carron has made his way past Connor Horn. We'll have a look on the replay of what happened here. And it was Horn who ran wide into the S's. And that meant that Andrew Carron was able to make it through into the 8th place. So gain a position there for Andrew Carron, having to do a little bit of a recovery drive here in this one. This is the battle we're looking at now. Thomas O'Leary and Bobby Zelensky, the two drivers who come out the final corner. 0.46 of a second between the two of them. Into turn 1. Zelensky, you can see his battered truck. Scars from the contact early in the race with Sven Kamat. Into turn number 3. O'Leary wiping out the cones. Tried to use as much of the road as possible to get the best line through turns 3 and 4 as they head down that straight. And do you know what? I think Bobby Zelensky is starting to look in his rearview mirror here, because Thomas O'Leary is just getting closer and closer here. 4 to go in this race. It's really been a good race, has this one. One little incident caused the yellow flag, and I'll tell you what, this has really re-energised this race. Everybody pitted under the caution, right decision as well. 4 of these, because Dallas Pataska, don't write him off here, he's a second behind Thomas O'Leary. But right now, Pataska, if anything happens to these front 3, he's in a prime position to be able to get himself a podium position here. Onto the brakes again. Through the right-hander, underneath the oval. Everybody behaving, staying within track limits. Through the final chicane, get on the power. Across the line, there'll be 3 to go. Time is starting to run out here for O'Leary as they come through. The right-hander there. Down towards 3 and 4. It's still going to be tricky. You've still got to look after these tyres. The trucks will be a little bit lighter than they were at the start of the race. But they've still got to look after the tyres. Zelensky going a little bit of a different line there into turn number 5. Compromised himself through the exit of 5 into 6. Thomas O'Leary now has got the bit between his teeth. He wants that second place. He wants it a 1-2 for his team. It'd do wonders for them in the team's championship. Through the left they go once again. 2.5 laps remaining in this race. Track temperature at the moment, 101 Fahrenheit. That's that information brought to you by AccuWeather. as we go down the hill. So the track has cooled down from where we started off. It was 112 earlier on, 113 degrees earlier on the track. So things getting a little bit easier for these good years, but right now they're under some pressure and some stress as they go through the left-right on the exit of the chicane across the line. Dallas Pataska has caught up that little bit to these two in front. Pataska can sniff a podium position because, of course, Pataska is involved in that four-way scrap for the championship. So don't write this one off yet. I think Zelensky doesn't have enough in the bank to be able to go for the lead. He's 0.9 of a second behind. Ow, on the power once again. You can see your top 8, bottom of the screen. And Zelensky with that different line again through 5. I don't think that's the best line for him. But you can see how close these three are. And don't forget, live timing and scoring available on RaceSpotTV/timing. Positions gained. David Williams up 7 spots now in this race. He's surely on board for the hard charger. O'Leary now putting the pressure on. Dallas Pataska right behind as well. You can see them in this camera shot here as we follow them down the straight. Aerial coverage brought to you by Amway Designs. We're going to be heading on to the final lap of the race. Oh, the two synchronized sliding Radicals cars. Wow, I mean, that's one way of getting the attention there, but I tell you what, that'll get the heart race working as well. But across the line, final lap of the race here. Sven Kemert's 1.2 seconds ahead of this battle, so all he has to do is just get to the end here. In towards turns 3 and 4. O'Leary not quite close enough to make anything work here. Exit at turn 4. I think the tyres are just starting to go off that little bit. On the brakes once again. Zelensky taking the more conventional line through turn number 5 there. Six into 7 now, the S's. Time running out here for O'Leary. Getting my words out, put my teeth back in. As we go into the hairpin once again. Oh, we may have lost Connor Horn from this one. We'll try and find out what's happened to him at the end of this race, because we're going to keep an eye on this battle though. I'm working on my own, guys. Come on. It's live broadcasting. You make mistakes. Down the hill, Pataska getting close as well to his teammate. But there's not going to be any move forthcoming. So we look forward then to Sven Kemert's final few corners in the race here. And all he has to do, get out the final corner, and he sees the checkered flag, and he is going to be winner of round 7 of the V8 SuperTrucks World Championship here at Twin Ring Motegi. Great drive from Sven.